Go.
Hi, welcome to your abs blast. Make sure you're warmed up beforehand. You're going to need a little bit of equipment, so a kettlebell or dumbbell or similar weight. If you haven't got those, a couple of tins of beans or full bottles of water will help. If you want to do it without the weight, then that's absolutely fine too. Okay, remember, keep your core in at all times. We need to protect that lower back, and so we'll start. We're going to lay back, get yourself comfy, pull in the core, tilt the pelvis so the lower back is in contact with the mat, pull the toes towards you, and we're going to do little flutter kicks. So you're trying to keep the legs nice and long and lean. You can lift the head if you want to, engages the core a little bit more, or you can lower the head down. So make sure if this is too hard, single leg lifts are absolutely fine. Or if you take the legs a little bit higher, you can flutter kick if that's easier on your lower back. But do what suits you. Okay, so moving on to the next exercise. We're going to do a knee lift pull in and then a longer leg pull in. So you're reaching towards the knee and then you're reaching towards the leg. We're staying on the same side and then we're going to switch over. Okay, getting ready to switch legs this time. So we're switching, reaching towards the knee, pulling the knee in. If it's too much, stay with the knee. Don't do the long leg one. Just pull in with the knee and a little tiny crunch. Okay, remembering to keep that tummy in. And then you've got a little rest. So you're going to have a little 10-second rest. Sit up a little bit. Stretch the back and roll the shoulders. We're going to go on to a V-sit. So you're going to sit back. The angle at which you sit is entirely up to you. The further back you go, the harder it is. Remember, keeping that tummy in. We're going to open out the arms and do a little chest press. Think about that lower back. So really pull the tummy in to protect the lower back. If you need something behind you, pop a little pillow or a bendable behind you to support you if you prefer. Okay, nice and long, pressing the shoulders forward, keeping the shoulders down. Pressing the arms forward. Now we're going to lay back, a little reverse crunch. So bending the knees, lengthening the legs. You're just lifting the pelvis up towards the sky or the ceiling if you're indoors. Work to your own range. You can use your hands to sort of press down a little bit to support. So a little lift, so a little reverse curl or reverse crunch. Remember to breathe, don't hold your breath throughout these exercises. Now we've got another little rest. Okay, so we're going to transition into the next phase. Just stretch the back a little. So your next phase is where you're going to pick your weights up. So either your tins of beans, your kettlebells or your dumbbells. So we want the lower back in contact with the mat. We're going to reach and pull. So the aim is to keep the weight and the feet off the mat. So you extend out, crunch in. Remember, breathing out as you come in, breathing in as you go out. Okay, adaptations then. Only go as far as you're happy to. Make sure that lower back is in contact with the mat. Don't rush this. Keep it nice and steady. Think about your technique. Okay. We're now going to go into a little press up and leg pull up. So you're going to press the weight towards the ceiling and bring the legs up at the same time. So as the weight lowers, the legs lower. Now if this is too much, you can just keep the knees bent and just do the chest press. Or you could even put the feet on the floor if you prefer. Okay, so remember, always work to your own capabilities. Okay, so we're coming to the end of our third section. We're going to have a little rest, but you're going to change position. So we're going to go on to tummies. So we're going to do a mixture of planks. Love a plank. So you've got an elbow plank, and then we're going to go onto the tummy, reach out, take the arms and the legs away, reaching as far as you can. So you're going to squeeze your bottom, come onto the plank and transition in between. And again, don't rush this. Keep tummies in, squeeze the bottom. You've got 30 seconds. Okay, so then we're going to come on to our last exercise in this round, and it's going to be a plank. So you can choose your level of plank. You can go 3/4, you can go full plank. So I'm doing straight arm, full plank. Just holding the plank for 30 seconds. If your ideal level of plank is an elbow plank, then feel free to go with that. Okay, that's round 1 done. Round 2, we go exactly the same, repeating the exercises. So now you know what you're doing. Laying back, tummies in, turn the toes up, Engage the abdominals, lift the head if you want to. Put your hands behind your head for extra resistance if you feel that's where you want to be, or your hands can be just reaching along down the legs or on the floor. We then go to that knee, pull in. So we go knee, trying to lift up and lift the leg. So you're trying to reach, so going for the knee first, then you're going to reach past the knee. Remember to breathe. So the breathing out on the effort. So you're breathing out as you're sitting up. Remember to keep that tummy in. That other leg's on the floor supporting. It can be bent, it can be straight, whatever feels nice for you. Changing sides. So we're bringing the knee in first and we're lifting up. Bring the knee in first, reaching past, that little lift up. So we're working the obliques here a little bit, guys, down the side of the waist. And we're staying on that same side. You've got your little rest coming up. And we're going to change positions, okay? And then we're going to come up, have a little stretch out, get ready for that V-sit position. So we're going to sit back, really think about this lower back and the angle that you're going at. So the feet are staying on the floor, you're leaning back till you feel some resistance in that core, really pulling the core, feel like you're tightening the belt around the waist. Keep looking forward, take the arms out nice and wide and bring them back. Think about the shoulders, shoulder blades coming together and then pushing forwards. Keeping the shoulders down away from the ears, back's nice and straight. Okay, coming up, laying back. You've got that little reverse coming up. So cross your ankles if you want. And we start to lift. So using the lower abdominals. So you're lifting towards, and again, don't rush through this. Take a breath, breathe out on the effort. Don't hold your breath. Head and shoulders on the floor for this one. Hands just by your sides. So we're about halfway through. Ready to come up? Have a little rest. Stretch out that back. Pick your weights up. Obviously, if you're not using weights, you can just do the same action without the weights. So again, this is with the feet on the floor, just doing the pull over at the top. So you bring the feet in if you want to. Remember, adapt it to suit you. So the head and shoulders are on the floor for this round. If you wanted to, you could bring them up and make it more of a deeper crunch. Lots of adaptations. Okay, so the knees are bent. We're going into the chest press. So we breathe out as we take it up. Breathe out as we take it up. So we're lowering the legs, lifting the legs at the same time as the weights or the bell. Again, keep breathing. Really think about that lower back. You want to tilt the pelvis as much of the spine as possible in contact with your mat. And again, if this is too much, you could just put the feet on the floor and do the chest press. Or leave the legs in a static position. Okay, time to put your weight down. We're moving on. Turning around, we're back to that plank section. So remember, it's your elbow plank. 30 seconds. And we transition from the elbow plank, tummies down, stretch out. So when you lift up into your elbow plank, think about lifting the core, lifting tummies away to the mat, extend out. Tummies away to the mat, extend out. Again, don't rush through this. Take your time. Have a little pause moment at the top of that movement. And you drop back down and reach out. Coming onto your planks. Okay, we're going for breaststroke legs now with the planks. So we're staying on one side. We're trying to maintain the posture of the plank. So tummies in. Just 15 seconds each side. Breaststroke legs, circling the leg out. So we're challenging the obliques a little bit on this one. So a little plank variation for you. So that's coming up to the end of round 2. Well done. Okay, you can finish there if you want, but there is round 3 coming, exactly the same. Here we go. So you've now picked your variation. Do you know what you're comfortable with? Turn the toes up, engage the abdominals, lift the head and shoulders a little, and off you go with your flutter kicks. Remember guys, the lower these are, the harder they are. So if you feel anything in that lower back, take the legs a little bit higher or do the single leg adaptation. Remember to keep that tummy in as much as you can, and please breathe through it. Don't hold your breath. Really tempting to hold your breath in this one. Okay, just 30 seconds. You're nearly there. Okay, ready for that knee pull in and the long leg lift. So staying on the same side, you've got 15 seconds each side. So that long knee pull in, long leg lift. Breathe in as you go. Don't hold the breath. Tummy's in. Remember, if it's too much, if you're getting tired, just stay with the knee. Lengthen the arms, your longer lever. As we know, creates a little bit more resistance. So I've saved the longer bit till last. But if you're doing this over again, at a future day, you can change your levers. You can start with a longer lever. Okay, the V-sit. So taking it back. Remember, get that posture first. Pull tummies in, support that lower back. That nice long reach through. So try and create some resistance. Feel like you're pulling through air. You can lift the legs if you want to. A little bit extra challenge for you. A little bit wobbly here. Hey ho. Legs down if you need them. Okay, your last set of reverse crunches or reverse curls are coming soon. So we'll lay back on the mat, bend the knees first, lift the legs one at a time. So remember, tummy's in. Taking the legs up towards the ceiling. And again, we're not going for speed, we're going for accuracy. We want a nice lift. Take the momentum out of it. Remember to breathe. Head and shoulders on the floor. Doing good. Keep going. Nearly there. Last little breather. Ooh, pick your weights up. Are you ready? Last time with the weights. So I'm using the tins of beans this time just to show you what you can do with them. It's just holding them together, exactly the same. Bring them in, we take them out. So we've got that little crunch action. So take a breath in as you lengthen, breathe out as you come in. So really emphasise that breath. Keep that lower back in contact with the mat. Try not to let the back arch. If your back starts to arch, don't take your legs as low. Nice bend to the knee. Okay, chest press. So this adaptation is the feet on the floor and just doing the chest press part of this exercise. Bringing the knees in. You could hold the knees static or you can go with the legs moving at the same time. So up and down. So working the whole of the core. Remembering to keep breathing, keep tummies in. Can't emphasise that enough. Okay, weights go down. We're turning over for the last time for our last plank position. Okay, so we're exactly the same with the elbow plank. Tummies in, squeeze your bottom. Remember, you can do 3/4 plank if you prefer. So your elbow plank coming up. Have that moment of rest at the top. Rest? It's not really a rest, is it? But, you know, that moment of stillness, shall we say. So your precision of your planks. Tummy's in. Back's nice and long. Squeeze the bottom. Okay, coming up for your last plank now. Now give three rounds. You've got 3 variations of plank. You can choose your favourite. So now we go into a bit of a rocker plank. So the movement comes from the feet. So you're just pushing through the feet to bring yourself forward and back, just challenging the abdominals and the stability. Of course, if you prefer, you can just stay in a static plank position, or if you wanted to repeat the breaststroke legs, you can do that one. Okay, well done. Round 3. Perfect. We're going to sit back, have a little stretch out. So hips go back towards the heels. We're going to lengthen through the shoulders and just feel the stretch and the lengthening through the upper back. We're then going to move into cat stretch. So fingertips spread, arch in the back, tilting the hips under, tilting the chin down. So like a cat stretches when it gets up from the floor. Okay, so really trying to get as much arch through that back as we can. And then we're going to Turn back onto the mat. We're going to sit down. No, we're not. We're doing a little cobra stretch. So, just pushing away from the mat, stretching out the abdominals. Keep the ribs in contact with the mat. And then we're turning over. So we're going nice and long. Taking the knees in. And just having a little roll round, little hip circles one way. And circling the knees the other. Just to release any tension that's built up in that lower back. We let the feet stay on the floor, take the knees to the side, take the arms the other direction. Just again, little stretch through the lower back. And then take the legs away, take the arms overhead, stretch out the abdominals as much as you can. Remember to breathe, lengthening through the torso. And bring yourself to a nice seated position, and you are done. Well done. Thank you for joining me in abs.